What's up, babe? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maya. This is your very first time here. So today, obviously, we are going to be doing 2 looks using the new Naughty Nude palette from Huda Beauty. And if I must say so myself, sis, she's bomb. She's bomb. We're gonna be swatching this whole palette before we hop into the looks as well as doing the full face. So just chill back, grab you a drink, and let's kick it and do some makeup. Before we hop into it, please make sure that you hit subscribe below if you have not yet, so that you are updated when new videos come out. Also make sure that you hit that notification bell as well, so that you are updated when new videos go up. All right, y'all, let's do it. So here we are again using some Huda Beauty products. I am gonna use the foundation again today, and we're gonna, like, obviously, we're gonna do a quick little full face before we get to the eyes. I did split this up into chapters so you can go and skip your little life away if you would like. But I did wanna dip back into these foundations and try a different combination than I did before, which was just one of the foundations. I kinda wanna mix them today. I am gonna go back into the Water Jelly Hydrating Primer, since obviously it probably works the best with the foundation since it came with it. So one of you beauties did recommend that I use another one of the darker ones around the perimeter of my face when I use it again. So I told her, I was like, yes girl, I got you for Sunday. Let's try that. Because especially if you're just now getting used to like me and how I do my makeup, when I put on foundation, it tends to be a lot lighter. It looks real light compared to what you would think my foundation is supposed to be. We are gonna go ahead and use Chocolate Mousse 450G on the like middle of the face. Oh, now it's looking like it's melting in now, but you'll see here in a minute on my forehead, she be looking real light. See, she low-key look like concealer here, and these lighter areas match perfectly. But I am gonna go ahead and take the darker shade around the perimeter of my face to see how we're looking. So I think I wanna just go ahead into Mocha, which is 500G, and see if it gives me a different type of vibe, or just a better like blendability, so that once I blend it out, it doesn't look so starkly bright against the actual shade of my face. It's an experiment, y'all. It's an experiment. And I really didn't give you guys, first of all, don't judge me. I haven't washed this brush since I used it the other day. That's fine. I really didn't give you guys my opinion on this brush. I actually really like this brush, how it blends out. I love how dense it is. And for me, typically that's what I'm looking for a good like foundation blending brush. And since we use 2 different colors, I know they're like very similar in shade, but I am gonna go ahead and use a different foundation brush to blend that in, just in case, you know, we're pulling that lighter shade into this shade. Okay, so what I will say is that I do feel like mixing those 2 as far as doing the deeper shade around my perimeter, which is actually like the perfect shade of my face, does make it look better just if I'm not about to go in and do nothing else. When I did the video on Thursday, I feel like when I just went in with just my shade, which was 450 Chocolate Mousse, I needed to go in with my bronzer and my different highlights and stuff like that to really make it look cool. But if you're like no makeup and you're my shade, I think it's cool to mix those 2. To my babe who suggested that for me, thank you. I see it. I see it, sis. I see it. But without even putting the makeup on my neck, I feel like that does help a whole lot, because then now I don't look stark, light, dark neck, light, you know? For concealer, I'm gonna use my Mercier Flawless Fusion Concealer. This shade is in 4N. It is a lighter shade. Typically my go-to in this concealer is 5N. I usually use this to like highlight, but today we just gonna go in. I don't wanna do it on my forehead though, so I am gonna go into my Colourpop on the forehead because I don't want it to be that stark. Yeah, might as well go around it too. Look at me. Plan on doing something and just reneged very quickly. This is my Haley sponge. I popped out the new one today. And I'm just going to blend this out. And we haven't done a little close-up recently, so let's just, you know, do a little close-up blending situation. I'm using the foundation brush around the perimeters to get rid of that line of demarcation, kill these lines, girl. And going into Soul Body Bronzing Balm to sculpt out the face. I am going to apply a little bit of concealer underneath our cream bronzer today, just for some extra sculpting. And I'm going to set with my Fenty honey powder today. I don't reach for this a whole lot, but I feel like we could reach for her today. But one thing I will say about this Fenty powder is, girl, it'll have you looking flawless. It'll have your skin looking like super airbrushed and just absolutely beautiful. But it ain't for the dry. It's not for the dry. I am reinforcing my bronzer with this Mented bronzer in Yacht Life. And we're gonna highlight with my Nabla highlighter, and this one is in Lucent Jungle. Just wanna have my whole face slayed and ready for the eyes and the lips at the end of each look. All right, we are ready for our first look, and I am so excited. First, we are gonna go ahead and swatch the entire palette. I even tried to put on my robe today that I'm sure would match both of the looks that we were gonna do today. So this first one is Filthy. This one is Passion. The next one is Shameless. Oh, that's cute. The next one is Please Me. Next we have Hypnotic. Then we have Hard. This one and this one are the marble colors in the first row. So that is our first row of swatches. So for the second row we have Untamed. Next we have Irresistible, which is gorgeous. Next we have Flower Power. Next we have Rough. Then we have a deeper shade, which is Spicy, which just swatched so creamy and beautiful. And then we have Arouse. And this is our row 2. In the last row, we have Slippery, which doesn't have a whole lot of color to it. It's more of like a glaze. Then we have Tantric. Then we have Naughty, Provocative, Desire. Ooh, girl, did you see that? And then we have Juicy. And this is row 3. All right, so now we are going to zoom in and hit it with the eyes. So I'm going into my Colourpop concealer to prime the eyes. And based on those swatches, I don't feel like I need to go in with a lighter concealer, you know, to kind of give us some insurance. I think we'll be fine. So for our first look, I know that I want to use Untamed as a base. I'm going to work this into my crease. Whew. See, I told you we didn't need no extra insurance. I told you. So this is a very precise blending brush that I'm using because I don't want this to be too blown out. I don't think we really are just like creating together right now because I don't have any idea where this is gonna go. I really wanted to put together 2 completely different looks for you guys so that you can see the variety in the palette. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade Rough with this blending brush. So I'm going right on top of Rough and just working it back and forth on top of Untamed so that it kind of blends into that shade, and then that shade blends into the skin. So on the lid, I think we're going to hit it with Irresistible, like right in the middle of the lid. And first I'm gonna take my finger and do it so we can see what it's looking like. Y'all just don't know how happy these kind of shades make me, girl. It's a happy day. It's a happy day. Go ahead and grab a brush, and this particular brush is my Sigma E55 eye shading brush. And I'm just sweeping this across our lid. If you can see the difference between doing it with your finger and then using the brush, it just doesn't, just don't. So I'm gonna give this a little bit of finger action just so it can match the other one. Then I'm taking a clean blending brush around the top of that to make sure it's not dark. I like where this is going. I like where this is going, y'all. So my thought right now is to go in with Desire, which is down here, which it made us gag a few seconds ago, and see how I like that in between those 2 shades. Yeah. I like that. I'm just working that in between those 2 shades. Oh, oh my God, this is beautiful. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. And you know this is where we're going. So I'm gonna see how it looks first. Let's see. Yep, that's where we're going. So this is the shade Filthy. And with this flat shader brush from Sigma, I am just working this into this part, blending it upward so that it's blended into the skin. Oh, just caught a glimpse of the monitor, girl. That is That's it. Probably gonna have to go back into Irresistible here in a moment to kind of like put it where I'm losing it a little bit. Oh my God, this is so cute. Okay, let me stop, y'all. I know y'all be like, Maya, what the heck, girl? You're trying to get me to spend money, but I just can't help it. Do you see this? Do you see this? All right, so bottom lash line, same old thing. We're gonna go in with Untamed on the end. Y'all see how that was way too big when I just went into that? I need something a little more precise. That is better. And same as the other side, this is getting blended out with Rough. I want to put Irresistible along the bottom lash line, just right here. So I am gonna go into this Pastel Dream liner, which is from LA Girl. This one is in Lavender. We are going to go in with our mascara and then pop on our lashes. And I went for more chill lashes because I really want to see these colors pop through. So I am thinking about going purple with the lips. This is my SuperStay Matte Ink from Maybelline in Believer. I just want to see how this will look with this. All right, so that's Believer with this, and I think, look at my teeth. Hold on. Now, this is Believer with this, and I think she is a winner. I'm going to take a little pictures, then I'll be right back, and we will do look number 2. So real quick, y'all, I did change my lip off camera. I did go into my Cupid's Arrows lippy things. I use this one as a liner, I use this one in the middle, and then I use my Milan lipstick from Colourpop as a gloss. Okay, so this time I did go ahead and do this eye off of camera, and there is a reason why. I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust myself to be on camera and creating a different look than the one before, because the way me and my relationship with pink and purple is set up, girl, is the look would have ended up being very similar to the one I just did, I believe. So I was like, let me hop off and do my best to come up with something completely different, a little more muted in pink. Our eye is primed. I'm gonna go into the shades, rude. Anyway, our eye is primed. I'm gonna go into this shade Spicy, which is right here. And in an upside down U shape, I am going to just put this over the lid. Since we are cutting the crease, I do want this color to be all the way over here underneath. I'm stamping her, which is a beautiful deep purple shade. I'm just stamping it all the way around that lid, just so we can start to create, you know, that background gradient that we have over here. And for this, I am using more of a smaller blending brush. It's pretty small, pretty dense. Next, I'm taking an angled blending brush, and I'm going into the shade Arouse, which is over here. It's more of an orangey tone nude. And that's why I did go off of camera, because I really wanted to use these shades, you know, ones that we did not use on the first one that don't read so much as pink. So I'm pressing that on top of that, as well as going in circular motions to blend it out into the skin. And I'm doing this all the way around. I'm gonna go ahead and with the same situation on the bottom while I'm at it. Spicy, close to the lash line, but maybe bring it about 75% on that lower lash line. Then I'm taking the same brush that had Arouse on it and just blending that out. Now I'm gonna take my P. Louise base, and the shade is Rumor 1. I'm gonna put like 2 little dots, and a few little dots, more than 2, on the lid. And then I'm gonna take my flat brush, which is from Raine. Start to move this around a little bit in the middle first, and then I'm gonna go into my cut crease. I know with editing, I always make it look like it only takes a second. Girl, it takes me about a minute and a half, 2 minutes to completely get this right. I'm just making sure that this is even. Typically I can tell, like when I see my physical crease right here, just look at how much height I have there compared to this side. That lets me know if I'm, you know, if they're even, and I think we're good. Take my edge and kind of like diffuse the edges of that, and then dip back into Spicy and blend out the edge of my cut crease. And I'm kind of flicking this outward so that I don't create lines of demarcation. So I am gonna use Arouse again on the lid just to blend it into Spicy. I'm taking like this flat blending brush. It's actually on the other end of an Urban Decay brush that came, I believe, in the Stone palette. And I'm just going to put it right here and just kind of go back and forth to blend it into Spicy and then move it into the lid area. I feel like that kind of created a little bit of a line of demarcation, so just moving back and forth between the brush for Spicy and with the other brush just to get it looking how I want it to look. So before I go in anymore with the matte shades on the lid, I'm going to go into Tantric, which is going to be our focus color in the inner part of the lid. So with this other side of this Urban Decay brush, it is a very flat shader brush type of shape. And I'm going to start to work this right along that inner part of the lid. So I'm bringing it kind of like over the lid a little bit, then tapering it out. You see how over here I got it like this, and then it kind of like tapers down. But I wanted to put this on before I went in with the matte because it'll just help me to blend it better. You also want to make sure you have a very sharp type of brush so that you really can follow that line, or use something smaller for the edges, kind of like when you're painting a wall and you want to make sure you get the edges perfect. You might want to use something smaller before you go in with a roller. It's kind of the idea here. But once I do have it all there like I want it, I'm gonna start to just pull it this way, which will kind of be more of like a blending agent to just pull it that way and kind of just taper that shimmer off. The next shade on the lid we are gonna use, which is the last one, is Hypnotic, which is this matte shade. And I'm taking an angled and I'm taking this angled brush, and I'm placing this right in between Arouse and Tantric. And as you can see, we're gonna have a little blending to do, but I want this to be that in-between shade, kind of following the shape of everything as well. Just make sure I get that nice in there, and also make sure it's blended into Arouse on this side with the corner of the brush. And then I'm going back into my flat brush for my shimmer, and I'm just going to bring that color over again, which is going to blend those two together. At the bottom, we are gonna go into Please Me, which is up here. And I'm gonna put that right on the bottom lash line towards the inner part, just to add a little bit of shimmer on the bottom lash line. I am also going to put in the inner tear duct, Tantric again, but I'm gonna mix it a little bit with Flower Power. We are doing a wing with this, so I'm gonna take my Tattoo Studio liner, which is from Maybelline, and create us a wing. On the bottom lash line, I'm going into my NARS liner, and this one is their High Pigment Longwear Eyeliner in Rue Bonaparte. So for lips, I'm gonna go into my liner, which is from Morphe, and this is in the shade Bar. And we're gonna use the Maybelline SuperStay Matte Ink, and this one is in Chai. And this is look number 2. All right, y'all, so that wraps it up for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you give me a big thumbs up. Comment below, let me know which look was your favorite. Also, make sure that you hit subscribe below if you have not yet. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.